Okay everybody, just to say I'm really sorry about Inktober yesterday. It was, I got so excited inking it that I forgot to actually turn the camera on. So I found out at the last minute. So here's the little stripy fish from day 4 yesterday. And I have a really bad cold today and I really didn't feel like doing Inktober. But you can see, I'm not walking that fast obviously, but you can see that I am actually in my studio. I did have a lesson yesterday, so it's a little bit messy. And I've got the fire going and the computer going and ready to find my image and have a look. And today, hopefully, I should be doing the catfish, which was one of the first things I actually drew when planning out this big project. So hopefully it will turn out alright. The cold and the lurgies won't get to me, but I'm not up to my usual standard. So I'm just testing out here by putting a rubber on the paper to see if the camera, whereabouts the catfish is on the paper. And you can see my hair, hello hair, and I'm just fiddling around with the inks and doing the preparation now. So as anybody knows, I am using Indian ink, just ordinary writing Indian ink, a brush and a uniball, black uniball pen. I find that the black uniball pen is one of the best pens to go over wet paper. I'm not using watercolour paper, I'm just using a heavyweight cartridge paper, which is quite good at the moment. It's because I'm doing small areas and allowing it to dry. It isn't actually buckling, which I'm really pleased about. And I don't ink very often, so it is quite a learning curve for me as well, this process. So I hope you can see it all okay. Now tonight we were supposed to go to Marlborough Mop, but I don't think we are now because I don't feel very well, so I might be going to Marlborough Mop next week. Now any of you that live anywhere outside of Wiltshire, you can Google Marlborough Mop. Marlborough Mop is it's a mop and it is in the small village of Marlborough, and Marlborough is about 12 miles away from where I live. It's a tradition that's gone on for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It's where hundreds of years ago, the geese, Michaelmas I think it's called, all the geese gathered in different market towns, and the farmers sold the geese to other farmers ready for Christmas, and at the same time they retarred their feet, because the geese used to walk miles and miles and miles to different market towns. So they were sold, their feet were retarred so they wouldn't damage their feet, and they'd walk to their new homes where they were fattened up for Christmas. Now obviously when the farmers sold the geese, they had money in their pocket, and obviously there was attractions and stores and beer stores, and the farmers used to spend their money. So I don't know how many of them would go home with much cash in their pockets, but there was a lot of merriment. And over the years, the mop, obviously things changed and the geese were no longer walked to market, so they slowly introduced fun fairs, fairgrounds. I don't know what they're called in other countries, but anyway, there used to be the mini mop, where it was just a small fairground held up on the common, but now they closed the whole of the high street down and there is a big mop, and the big mop goes all the way from one of the end of the town to the other end of the marketplace. It's really long, and it's filled of every kind of fairground attraction you can think about, from bumper cars to the big wheel. I love the candy floss or the cotton candy, that's really good fun. I really enjoy that. I could tell you a story about when my kids were little. Me and my children's dad piled the kids and some of their friends into a very, very, very small car. And we all trotted off to Marlborough Mop, and we all had some money in our pockets to spend. And one of the attractions, which they don't have anymore, was when you used to put, there was a big table full of milk bottles. Now in England, many, many years ago, the dairies used to provide milk in glass milk bottles, which were washed and recycled and sent back to the dairy. Now these were collected. Now the idea of this particular game was you were supposed to put a ping pong ball into a milk bottle. Now these milk bottle tops were rather small, and ping pong balls are very, very bouncy. Anyway, with anticipation, we all lined up, and we all dished out a couple of balls each, and the kids enthusiastically threw the ball, and each time it would ping off and not go into the milk bottle. And I've never been one that's been very successful in things, so I threw my ping pong ball, pew, and it went ding 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 over the milk bottles, and landed, believe it or not, into the middle milk bottle, which was the star prize. And nobody was more shocked than me. And the star prize happened to be a very, very huge soft toy, and this soft toy was a killer whale. And we had to lug this killer whale around for ages while we went to the mop. And at the end of the mop, we all tried to pile into this little tiny car, and tiny little car, and get home. And it was hysterical, to say the least. The soft toy was so big that when I put it on our double bed at home, it filled the double bed, and we lived in a tiny little house. Anyway, I did end up giving the killer whale to the local hospital for the kids to play, and I thought that was a fitting end. Hospital's quite big enough to fit a killer whale in. So yeah, I love, when I go there, I love eating the candy floss and the cotton candy. That's one of my favourite things that I like to do. Now, anyway, I'm going to leave it there for talking, because I do feel really, really poorly today, and I need to get this uploaded. So hopefully I will leave you with a little bit of music, if I can work out how to do it. Okay, a little bit of music to the end of this video, and hopefully feel a bit better, and see you tomorrow.